Welcome to Business Authority Radio, bringing you insights from today's thought leaders, professionals, and influencers. With your hosts, Neil Howe and Craig Williams.
Welcome to another edition of Business Authority Radio. I'm Craig Williams, and I have the honor and distinct pleasure to introduce to you the president of Priatek, Milind Bharvirkar. Did I get that right, man?
You did get that right. Good job.
Awesome. So, Milind, we're going to go right into your expertise. So you have an extensive background in gamification, creating experiences in advertising, but more on the game side. And this unique platform that you've built in the last few years has brought in to the industry of deal finds, the Grouponish type of deals that we are used to, grown accustomed as consumers. The great thing about that, consumers have a lot of options, but we're not showing a lot of loyalty to the retailers. And so over the years, a lot of deals have been distributed, but the growth of business in retail, especially on the restaurant side, has not benefited from that. And you've changed the game in a great way, not only in the restaurant business, but in the retail and distribution period across the board. Tell me a little bit about how you got into the business. I'd like to hear a lot more about your history, and I know the audience is going to be interested in the history, EA Sports, and what got you into what you're doing now. So take it from there.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks for having me, by the way. Yeah, it's a great question. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. During my early days, I was in the advertising industry, and I soon got into the arcade coin-op business, of all things.
Wow.
You don't go to college for those kind of things, but I did have a college friend who introduced me to the industry, and I fell in love with it. In 1998, I started a company called Global VR, and we were pioneers at taking games from the home industry and porting them into an arcade box. And I worked on Tiger Woods PGA Tour, Madden football, NASCAR. There are racing lines that were under the Need for Speed brand. And we did incredibly well with that. We actually sold 25,000 kiosks worldwide. But I was best known for a golf game called, the Tiger Woods golf game that I put online in sports bars, in restaurants around the country, and people could actually play in tournaments to win money. And we signed up 500,000 people in 3 years, and we in that duration we gave out $3 million. Yet the kiosks earned $100 million.
Wow!
So it really blew my mind the power of prizes and games. And what was soon coming to fruition was this thing called esports, right? Where people are playing skill-based games to win prizes. So we did this golf game, and what we in essence created was 500,000 people in a social network. This is prior to Facebook. And whenever I touched a button, I could mobilize this audience, and these people went to retail locations and spent money. Well, I wanted to apply that to retail locations. I wanted to harness the power of prizes and games to apply it to a mall, an airport, a Walmart, a Dollar General store, a sports arena, wherever locations were looking to register and database people, and brands were looking to get extra attention out there, and where we could help and provide value. So what we did was we created something called Prize-Based digital advertising. And the whole concept is that digital signage is static. You can't measure how well it is. And in this big advertising industry, everybody wants metrics. They want proof.
You want feedback.
Right.
You want the engagement to be beyond just a billboard. I mean, digital billboards, yes, they're more sexy because of the pixelation, the movement that's there, as opposed to just a painted one, the ones that we've always seen. But to have one that not only draws but evokes action from the consumer or the viewer, even if it's just tweeting, or passing on the message. Yeah. I see that.
Absolutely. I mean, all legacy advertising today is in trouble. You whether you're TV, radio, newspaper, print, or digital signage and billboards, you're in trouble because you can't show them metrics. And Google now is larger than the top 10 media companies combined.
Wow.
Right? And there, you would never foresaw that in 2005, but that is the reality we live in today. And any form of media that can engage consumers in a meaningful way and shows metrics behind it and is performance-based is well sought after. So what we did was we created that. We're going to revolutionize digital signage by something we patented called Prize-Based digital advertising. Instead of static ads, we convert our static ads to prize ads, right? So when you walk by one of our digital kiosks, you'll see you can win sneakers, you can win a car, you can win a cruise, you can win jewelry, you could win jeans, whatever brands are looking to get extra exposure.
So they're trading their engagement, not money, because then you'd have to, we're in Vegas right now. So right. you put a coin in a slot machine that's part of gaming in a sense. You're asking for them to actually engage the advertisement on their own. It's not pay to play. It is, engage to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you bring up a very good point. We're in Vegas right now, and the city revolves around prizes. It's just built in our DNA. We love prizes. We literally have a chemical reaction in our body when we see an opportunity to win something we desire. So that's our platform rotates, prize promotions, of which gets the attention of the consumer to come up and touch the screen. Once they touch the screen, there is a menu of prize promotions, and on average, people play for 6 of them. And what's remarkable about it is they're picking the 6 they like, right? They're picking the brands they're looking for while they're in that retail location. Because we're in malls currently, right? So if you're looking to buy sneakers and you're walking into a mall and you see I can win sneakers, it gets your attention, right?
Yeah.
So
get my attention for
right?
sure.
So what this is engagement. What happens is the kiosk is creating engagement with a consumer to a brand. When they touch the screen, a menu comes out. Let's say they hit Nike. They then have to register. Now, not everybody registers. Certain people walk away. We're only concerned about the people who are willing to jump over the wall to get to that brand, that are willing to register. And then we weave in a simple survey question. What kind of sneakers would you like to win? Maybe you press running sneakers. We know 2 things about you already. If you continue to play for Nike throughout the year, we're going to know more and more relevant information about you. Then we weave in a game. And the purpose of the game, this is very interesting. It's experiential. It's to emit a feeling with that brand. And New York is full of that, is full of experiential advertising, but nothing so scalable as ours. I've been complimented that this is the most scalable experiential advertising product that's ever been made. So we have games like Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Family Feud, Price is Right, and people get to play these games. Wow. And the whole idea is that you're laughing, you're joking, you're forgetting about maybe a bad day you've had. And at the end of this game, you're going to be rewarded with either a prize off of what you chose or a discount off of what you chose. All right. Now, say you played for Nike sneakers. At the end of it, you randomly get 50% off. Well, you're in the mall to buy sneakers. You voluntarily went up to this kiosk, engaged with the product, picked Nike, was given a discount, and that location is 30 feet from where the kiosk is. Yeah. Your chances of purchasing that product triple.
Yeah.
It's remarkable because
there's incentive to respond, not just a window shop. You're going to not only engage this advertisement, but you're engaged to buy and be the consumer that the retailer wants you to be.
And, it's about the reason why the engagement is so strong is because it's a meaningful engagement that's voluntary. It is done on the terms of the consumer, So powerful.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That they came up and they chose what they wanted. That is huge. That's the basis of Google, right? And the empire they built was you were searching for something and you saw an ad pertaining to your search. It was you found the product. It wasn't the product putting it in your face. And it's the same concept that we're coming here, but we're working off of something called gamification. Our desire, our internal desire to want to win something, which is, by the way, universal at any age, any place you live, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. So you are a kiosk. I mean, you say kiosk, that that paints a number of pictures for some of the audience, but tell us specifically what this kiosk looks like.
So it's a 7 or 8 foot kiosk. We have different formats of it, and the screen is massive. It's 4 to 5 feet within that, and it's a multi-touch screen that has the fidelity of your iPhone. Okay, and which didn't exist when we started the project off, by the way, and but we have something, and we have something that good because we want people to walk up, touch it, and play a game that might be multi-touch, something that you would feel on your phone sometimes, but never play in that big of a format.
Gotcha.
It is very high definition. The colors are very crisp. A lot of people say it's one of the best resolution screens they've seen in the market.
Is this an engagement recorded? Is there a camera built into the screen?
We are actually in the process of integrating a camera into it. We consider it a platform very similar to how Apple considers their iPhone a platform. And a platform can integrate different technologies as it goes on.
Yeah.
And yes, our camera is going to be a very important part of this because as you win prizes, you're going to be able to take pictures and post it right onto Facebook.
Gotcha. So as this experiential advertising guru that you are, where do you see this going? I mean, really, are the screens going to get bigger? Do you always have to be in front of the screen to take advantage of the opportunities that are offered in the advertisement?
It's a good point. Well, to answer that, we also are duplicating the experience on mobile. So as people are playing for their favorite prizes on the kiosk, we've noticed that people want to take the experience home with them.
Gotcha.
So they can download our app, which stores all the coupons and prizes they've won, but it also allows them to engage with other prize promotions on their mobile phone.
Okay.
Which is just great. The other thing about that is we've now spoken to a variety of different industries about this kiosk and what it could do for them. So malls, we are now approved by the top 14 mall chains in the country. And there's an obvious match here for this kiosk in malls. Airports are another market that this would work extremely well in because they sell products. Malls are turning into airports are turning into malls, right? Sports arenas. We've had these things in sports arenas. We've done a deal with IMG College to put it in sports arenas in Tampa. And it worked remarkably well because advertisers are trying to reach consumers through billboards and jumbo screens. But what they don't get is that feedback, right? They don't get those data analytics like we can provide. But there's also applications in hotels. We've spoken to some of the largest hotel chains. We've spoken to some of the largest grocery store chain. They thought there was a perfect application for this. We've also spoken to some of the largest big box retailers. As a matter of fact, without me saying the name, the largest big box retailer, in the world.
Yeah. So, I mean, for years there have been those where they've got, I'm not going to name any brands, but you could go by and you don't even have to go in the store and you get points or credit and it adds up for a gift card and that type of thing. What's the difference in those type of, sometimes you do have to go in the store, walk down a certain aisle, look at a product, maybe take a picture of something like that. Is it similar to this?
You're talking about the loyalty point system we've integrated into the experience itself. And by the way, I failed to recognize what Priatek is the name of our company, but our consumer brand is In to Win. So very simple, In to Win. So when you play In to Win and you engage with prize promotions, we give you loyalty points. And when you buy products using our coupons, we give you more points. And what's great is those points are points that you can now use for gift cards to any store you want, which is excellent. So it's made on the consumers, on their terms. Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's great. We've also are now integrating a $1 million giveaway into it. So as you're playing for your favorite products...
So you're bringing back some of that old strategy from your EA days to... Great. Yeah.
Well, when you talk about prizes, you want to bring people's fantasies and dreams. You want something that's life-changing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You don't see people running to the lottery when it's $5 million, but when it gets to $300 million, my mother's calling me to play.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So what we do is we want to integrate big high-end prizes along with mini promotions. So we're coming out with a $1 million giveaway. We'll be giving out a car, dream vacation, summer concert giveaway. So, win groceries for a year. They're all going to be integrated into it. So while you're playing for your favorite brands and getting coupons and spending,
there's more incentive. Wow.
Yeah, it's also layered with that. We're also coming out with tournaments and challenges where you can actually challenge a friend using your coins, and you could challenge them to a game. And in essence, play a skill-based game to compete against them. And whoever wins gets all the coins.
Let's talk about these skill-based games that you've been able to capture. I mean, you've got licensing deals with some of the biggest gaming that we've seen on TV most of our lives. How'd you go about that?
That just comes to my background. It was early on when, 98, when I approached Activision to license a couple games. And then I went on to become Electronic Arts' largest partner, and it gave me credibility. Because when you license these games, in a lot of cases, you're licensing their name, their brand, their source code, and they're very protective of that intellectual property. So they're not easy to relinquish those things. And that built my resume to be able to go to Sony and to Fremantle to license Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Family Feud, and Price is Right.
Wow.
And we're talking to even other licensors now. So if you could picture this, what it becomes is like a game show experience. Not we all watch TV, and we all play it out in our heads, as you're in Family Feud.
But we're not rewarded.
Right.
We feel good when we got the right answer and they get the wrong one, or they get the right answer with us, but at the same time, we're not rewarded as they are.
Right. We're all screaming at the TV, saying what the answer is, but we're not there.
Yeah.
And we're not making any money out of it. So what we've done is we brought Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Family Feud, and Price is Right, these iconic game shows to people in their neighborhoods where they now can feel like they're in Wheel of Fortune and playing to win for these grand prizes and products they like. So it's tremendous. It's quite fun actually watching people jump up and down next to the screen as prizes and coupons are coming out of the machine.
Well, science has proven, and it doesn't take science for us to pay attention to the lack of play has created environments of violence in some cases when we don't get to exert that part in our lives. And there's, we take a lot of things much more serious than we need to, especially in business, but in life. And it's great to hear that someone is still creating environments of play for all individuals. Tell me this, is there a limit on how many times I could play? Because you got a person who's hogging the game. They're playing, they're going Christmas shopping. And so they're trying to get all of the coupons, and there's a line of people behind them. Are they able to look on and maybe download the app while this person might be taking,
That's a great question, and we've had to address that issue.
I would imagine so.
So we limit you to one play per prize promotion for the day, but you can play up to 20. So did that make? I don't know if I said that correctly. You can play up to 20 prize promotions, but you can only play each one of them once a day.
Okay.
That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the name, Priatek. I know it's near and dear to you, and there's a lot of deep meaning in the name. I know technology's a part of it, but tell me about Priatek.
Priatek is an acronym for Prize Advertising Technology. And my vice president of marketing came up with that name. I thought it was great. When I first looked at it, it reminded me, it was almost spelt like Priya. Mm-hmm. And Priya is an Indian name. my dad's Indian. So I asked my wife, who was pregnant at the time, if we could name our child Priya, and she said, "Heck no." So, but
this is your other baby. This is your other baby. Okay, I got you.
Which is funny, but as the company got traction and my wife started to love everything we did, she got pregnant again. And the second time we named our child Priya.
Wow.
Which is amazing. And the name Priya, I looked it up, means beloved. We're of Christian faith. And beloved son has a true meaning, a deep meaning for us. So it's really a remarkable name. It has 3 different meanings to it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You definitely have an exciting story, especially from whence you came in the business of being able to play and create environments for others to play. And you're still playing, and you're still creating those environments for play. What would you tell a 10 years younger Milind?
Ooh, that's a great question. So, when you go about your dream, I like to think with no boundaries. I want to think of something big and massive. I don't want to think about what I can't do. I think about what could be possible. Mm-hmm. So dream big, one. And that's a double-edged sword, by the way, because when you dream big, usually that means it's a bigger scope. And then you need to be determined to achieve that goal. And if you get investors involved and so forth, it's all about integrity. Mm-hmm. It's casting your ego aside. It's about putting your team, your investors, your customers in front of you, and then being willing to do whatever it takes. And one thing I could tell you about being an entrepreneur is we get to do a lot of great things that we love to do every day. And sometimes it's not fun doing everything we do.
Yeah. There's a cost to it.
Right.
Yeah, there's a cost.
There's a price to be paid. So I love what destiny has brought to me. My faith has brought to me is this opportunity to create this. It has so many opportunities to it. We think this is a potential to be a unicorn out there, one of those billion-dollar unicorns. And, it's because we stay true to what we believe in.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. So how do we get in touch with you? How does the audience find you? And this will be in the show notes as well, but addresses, telephone numbers, social media, let us have it.
Yeah, sure. You could look, our website is Priatek, Priatek.com, as well as we have intowin.com, that's the consumer side, and it's in is IN, of course, and it's the number 2, and then win.com. And you can, I think my email address is on there. It's Milind, MILIND, at Priatek.com, and love to hear from people. What makes this product great is getting the feedback from customers, is listening to what they say, what they love about it, what they think could be better about it, what even they hate about it. Yeah. And that's what's made me great as far as making products, is getting that customer feedback. So we always love to hear from people.
Well, that's awesome. I'd like to interject. There's no real format to how we do this. So you brought that up. Is there a time throughout the engagement where they can give feedback at the end of their experience?
Yeah, not currently, because when these kiosks are integrated into a very specific formats that are limited with time. But as we go along, we're going to be building out a more sophisticated feedback system to understand what prizes people like, what they don't like, which games they like, and so on. So we will be working at this. It's a platform. It's always being developed. We spend a lot of money getting here, but we still have more to go. And it's remarkable, by the way, and we didn't hit upon this, if you don't mind me hitting upon it.
Please do.
The whole platform concept. One of the big inspirations behind this was the iPhone, Steve Jobs and what he created. It wasn't just the iPhone, it was the business model behind it, the ecosystem that he created, and how each partner had to live in this ecosystem, and everybody had to have their needs fulfilled. And for us, that's what we created. We created an ecosystem that integrates a player, that's interested, or a member that wants to come in, engage with prizes and so on, but doesn't want to be inundated with a bunch of prize promotions that they're not interested in. Simultaneously, we had to have an advertiser or brand had to satisfy their needs, right? So what we incorporated was the Google model. Everybody loves the Google model, pay per performance.
Yeah.
Instead of a pay per click,
Yeah.
ours is a pay per engagement. Similar to a click, but even more comprehensive, right? So we really have done a great job of fulfilling the needs of our advertisers with a performance-based model that gives metrics on the back end of how many consumers engage with their product, how many coupons were issued, how many sales they got, how many male, female, genders, ages. We even created a loyalty system throughout this whole thing, which allows brands to keep in touch with people who are most interested in their products. And then of course there's the malls, the retail locations, they have needs too, right?
A lot more now, since a lot has gone online.
Yeah, malls are looking for more traffic. So prize promotions have proven to drive more traffic to retail locations. Look at Monopoly at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Albertsons runs prize promotions now. It drives 13% increase in sales, right, into grocery stores. So what we've brought is price promotions to malls to drive traffic there, because people are, and make it a more engaging, fun experience of shopping.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's an ecosystem. It's a platform integrated with a Google inspiration, right? Then an inspiration from the iPhone, obviously, and then the inspiration of big prize promotions like Monopoly at McDonald's.
Oh, man. So the moniker and the mission of that foundation to end to win, play, win, and save, it's consistent. And what's awesome is usually advertising is a lot of times it's a win-lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really is. It usually, the history of it has been more of a win-lose, a controlling type of tool for the big box stores. And it sounds like what you've done here at Priatek has created a win-win.
So that is a great point right there. And let me give you an example of that situation where we thought it was a win-lose for if we had taken this course. A lot of people were asking us early on at the creation of this product, well, boy, you're going to have millions of people sign. You got to sell that data, right? We really thought about that hard and long, and we decided against that. We have a strict policy of not selling data. So if you come up and you play for Nike, we don't even give your name to Nike. So we only if you opt in. It might come in and say, would you like more information from Nike or be on their mailing list? If you put yes, then in that case we do. But if you say no, we do not sell your data to anyone. And that was something where we had to understand the ecosystem, learn we had to prioritize in the ecosystem what was most important. And our consumers were number one. Our members were number one. If we were true, honest to our members, we're going to grow a big, huge base of which then we can connect them with brands. But if we didn't have that integrity, we would have lost them. Yeah. So.
Milind, thank you so much for sharing this great vision. I look forward to tracking the growth of this company. And once again, thanks again for sharing Priatek with us.
Thank you for having me, Craig.
You've been listening to Business Authority Radio with Neil Howe and Greg Williams. To learn more about the resources mentioned in today's show or to listen to past episodes, visit businessauthorityradio.com.